I don't know. Why?
I don't think you should.
How come?
You should wait till you're ready. You should wait till you meet someone who excites you.
Yeah, well, she may not be out there.
It's like the Wizard of Oz, William. The whole time it was right in your own backyard.
What do you mean?
You. Me and you.
Really?
Yeah, you don't think?
Well, we have a little age problem.
I know where star-crossed is Romeo and Juliet. It's tragedy of Elizabethan proportions.
What light through yonder window breaks, 'tis the east and Juliet is the sun.
And the colored girls go do 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 do. Weird. No way.
So what do we do?
Last poor Romeo, we can't do diddly. He'll go to penitentiary. I'll be the laughing stock of the Brownies. If your feelings for me are true, you'll wait.
Wait?
Yep. Wait 5 years. I'll be 18. We can walk through this world together.
In 5 years, you won't even remember me.
William.
I'm formed and you're not, and you still have changes to go through. You'll change, and then I'll be Winnie the Pooh to your Christopher Robin.
No literary reference is left unturned. How do you figure Pooh?
Well, Christopher Robin outgrew Pooh. That's how it ended. He had Pooh when he was a child. When he matured, he didn't need him anymore.
It's the saddest thing I ever heard.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for listening to the McJeffrey 500. This is the podcast where I count down my 500 favorite films and then make my friends watch them one movie at a time. It is December 4th, 2015, and at the table we have Mr. Rob. Mr. Rob, hello.
Howdy.
It is a Friday afternoon. Neither of us are working. I'm on vacation. Rob generally has Fridays off. Mm-hmm. So we generally... This is our first afternoon podcast.
Yeah, early afternoon.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice because then we have the whole evening to look forward to. And
yeah.
It's like when we end the evening on the podcast and could be a down note. Like, if this podcast ends up being a down note...
This is what I did on my Friday night. Jesus.
Fuck. What a waste. Maybe if it's bad and it's the afternoon, like, there's still time to redeem this day.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Indeed. So I just got back from vacation. Me and fellow co-host Miss Lily went to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
She's never really had the Los Angeles experience, and I had some vacation time I had to take, and so I kind of like... I get 3 weeks a year. I kind of piecemealed one of those weeks out of like just days of not feeling like going to work, which left 2 weeks, one of which I just took. And I thought LA seemed like a good idea.
So you still have 1 week left?
I still have 1 week left.
Do you have to use between now and the end of the year?
I gotta look into that. Because I'm not inspired to take another week off for... Probably not till like April when they have to... I work with a highly sophisticated machine that has to get recalibrated every year. So it's gone for a week. So I figure maybe take that week off. And that's in April. So...
What do you usually have to do on those weeks where it's being recalibrated?
I have to look busy. I shuffle papers, and I just, look on the computer and just make sure I have the tab with like stuff I should be doing to the side so when someone walks by. No, that's only half true. Well, the problem is, my desk is faced towards the door, so if you're coming through the door, you don't know what I'm up to. But There's a back area where we have to pass materials through like a glass case, but that's translucent, so someone can literally look behind my shoulder and see that I'm
surfing the internet.
Which I'm not much for surfing. Usually, if I'm on the internet at all, I'm like
Facebook.
No, because I do that on my phone. But I have been guilty of like reading fantasy like sports news. But yeah,
that's respectable.
Yeah, it's
hard for somebody to be mad at you.
Yeah, I mean,
they see that.
It's important.
They start talking to you about it, probably. So, yeah, what do you think? What do you think about Greg Jennings? What's going on with him?
Brandon Jennings. Hey, should we pick him up? He's going to come back, but, Drew Hollywood Day basically has... No, Reggie Jackson has his job. Got my teams mixed up. But, is Brandon Jennings still on our wire? Did somebody pick him up?
I don't know.
To come up. I have to pick him up. But I used all 4 of my trades this week, so... Which I opt to do generally by midweek. All right, boring talk there. Anyway, I went to L.A. I actually saw a movie.
Wow.
I know. Went to the ArcLight. First time ever. I saw Creed.
Oh, I saw Creed as well.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, I liked it a lot.
Even though it hits every familiar step. But it's certain movies where it's almost like...
It's okay.
You prefer it. You prefer hit those notes. Even like the end is obviously a kind of a shadow of the first Rocky film.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, that eye makeup.
The what makeup?
The eye makeup at the end.
That looked gnarly. I was like, oh my god, that looks so bad.
And
not bad, like it looks not very good, like badly done. It actually looks like oh man, you wince when you see it.
I was hoping they were not going to cut him because that would have been a bloody show. Bloody show. But I did like how, they have him
cut me, Rock! Cut me!
Give me a chainsaw, dude. But, when he has him count the fingers and he kind of taps the back of his neck, I thought that was kind of a good move. But even though, if you're the guy with the fingers and you're going, you fucking liar.
Well, you don't want to be the ref or the doctor that calls the fight. Nobody wants to be the guy who calls it too early.
Yeah.
And so you almost get the impression that he knows he's lying.
Yeah.
Because there's this moment where he pauses like, yeah, right, you know what I'm holding up. But you said it, your corner is helping you figure it out. I'm not going to be the one that ends this fight.
All right. I have my story, you have yours.
Yeah.
That was like the last round, so, No, I enjoyed it. I also like the fact that it almost gave a nod to virtually every Rocky movie that preceded it.
Clubber Lang was mentioned.
Clubber Lang, his son.
Obviously is all because of Ivan Drago.
Yeah, though they never mentioned Drago by name.
Right, they don't.
They mentioned he died in the ring, and that's...
Rocky 5 isn't really mentioned very much.
I mean, his son is. When they say he moved to...
Yeah, but that was established in Rocky Balboa.
I suppose.
No one says family, home team. If he had said home team, that would have been a reference to Rocky 5. But they didn't say home team, so...
Correct. But all the same, it was... If you like Rocky,
I love Rocky.
It's hard to dislike.
I'm glad that well, I guess maybe we shouldn't spoil it, but
yeah, well,
there's a good chance that we'll see more Rocky down the road,
or at least more Creed, right?
Right.
I mean, the guy who played Creed was really good, and forgive me, I don't remember his name.
Michael B. Jordan.
Thank you very much.
Poor Michael B. Jordan. He was in this year's biggest flop, Fantastic Four, but he's come roaring back with Creed.
All right.
And I have a feeling, you know what? I was talking to somebody about this. If you end up, this does not include the Roger Corman Fantastic Four film. But if you play Human Torch in a Fantastic Four movie, that's a good omen.
You rebound mightily.
Yeah, that's a good omen.
Who did play the Human Torch?
Chris Evans was the Human Torch in the Tim Story original Fantastic Four films that were terrible. And he went on to become Captain America and a superstar. Michael B. Jordan was Human Torch in Fantastic Four, and he has the potential to be a big star after Creed.
Oh, yeah, I mean, in a sense, Rocky characters are almost like comic book characters at this point. They're iconic.
I think you're right in that Rocky 3 sort of began. I don't think it's quite there.
The comic. Oh yeah,
Rocky 4 is the comic book movie.
Oh, come on, the stuff
America
with,
versus
stuff with
the-
Hogan.
Oh, that's more wrestling fun stuff.
That was silly.
Yeah, but that wasn't. I don't think it had reached comic book realm yet. Comic book realm was achieved in 4 when it was America versus the USSR.
America won, of course.
And Rocky single-handedly ended communism with one speech.
To Rocky, we trust. Thank you, Rocky. So that's what I saw, and saw at the ArcLight, which I've never been to, and it's
Fancy.
It is fancy. It has its own little museum of recent movies.
Was it projected, or was it a...
It was projected. There was a guy who actually came out and talked to us, say, hey, I'll be here hanging out for the next 10 minutes, make sure the sound and the light is right. Before the film, like, ooh, fancy.
Nice. So it was 35 millimeter?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was a beautiful, beautiful looking movie.
I can't wait to see the Hateful Eight and 70 millimeter.
That's gonna be a fun show. They were also having a big Krampus party at the ArcLight that night.
Sweet.
It was all roped off. They had an actual Krampus monster.
Nice.
But we couldn't get past the ropes.
I'm hoping to see it tonight.
Yeah, I'll hopefully get around to it. Downside of getting off of vacation is suddenly you're broker than shit. Because
vacation you don't get paid?
Oh, I get paid on vacation, but I don't get paid till I get paid. But basically, I ate like a king. I ate well every day.
Well, or just a lot, you mean?
Both. Both.
Because if you ate well, that meant you had your vegetables. You refrained from fatty foods.
No, unless the vegetables came... I mean, I had a burger that made me so happy. Because I actually looked up, best burger place in LA, and this is the one place that came up the most was a place called Plan Check. And I had this burger.
Planet Check?
No, just Plan Check.
Plan Check?
It's like a gastropub.
What's Plan Check mean?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a backstory.
Like Plan B and then check, check please? So
maybe.
Well, how do you spell the name?
PLAN space CHECK. So what do you think?
Plan Check. Yeah, okay.
Plan Check. So had this burger and it was amazing, and I think I got burger drunk because I was just giggling. I was just so happy.
What was it about this burger?
Oh my god, it's hard to even break down the words. It had a ketchup leather. Which is,
ketchup leather?
They make their own ketchup. And the ketchup they don't use for the bottle, they dehydrate and turn into a leather. And they put it on the burger and kind of evens and melts perfectly. And then they had...
Gross.
No, it's...
Leather?
It's a
ketchup leather?
Ketchup leather. That's how they said it. But it worked. And it just had these onions. It also had a weird name. And every... and it was so juicy. And they asked... And here's what I've never heard in a restaurant ever. It's is it okay that the burger is medium rare? I'm that's... Absolutely. Because... I always I said, can it be medium rare? It's sure, yay. Or, I'm sorry, medium's the best we can do. But they won't serve that thing anything less than medium rare. Because it's so juicy and so flavorful and so succulent. And Lily had one too. And
a lot of blood in your mouth?
Oh my god. It was just freaking screaming in my mouth. And it went through all these... every bite was better than the last. I mean, Plan Check. Check it out in LA. They have a couple because they're doing very well.
I'm going to be going to LA at the end of January to see a Kobe game with our resident Laker fans.
Oh, wow. Who are they playing?
I don't know.
Well, they're going to come out here 2 times. But he wants to see him in LA. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. The Laker fans don't want...
Is both Laker fans going?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm the third wheel. I'm the non-Laker fan going, so...
Okay. That should be an experience. I hear Staples fans are jack-offs, so I would like to hear a first-person account.
I don't plan on wearing any kind of Kings gear because I don't want to be douchey.
Why? Unlike Laker fans who go to Kings games?
Yeah,
shit.
I'm classier than that.
Well, if the Kings, if for some slight, or any reason it's the Kings, you have to wear the Kings gear.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be douchey wearing Kings gear if the Kings aren't playing.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
But if they're like playing like the Hornets, clearly just where
Yeah, I guess I should find out what game I'm going to.
To be continued. All right, hey, so you've been to the movies, so let's knock these out. What have you seen?
Well, I guess the one thing I'll talk about is because I watched a lot of TV shows. I don't know if I talk about Jessica Jones.
No, but I know you really liked it, just like everybody else does.
Yeah, probably the best thing that Marvel's put out.
That is bold.
I've been starting the Man in the High Castle, the Amazon original series about the Philip K. Dick novel.
How's that so far?
It's people say it's slow, but I actually think it's running at a pretty decent pace. I mean, I'm only, I think, 4 or 5 episodes in, but I think it's going at a pace that makes sense for what the content. I mean, we're talking about introducing you into a world where the Nazis and the Japanese have won World War II, and America has been split in two, essentially. The eastern half belongs to the Third Reich, and the western side is Japanese. So I feel like Dusty, stop that.
Dusty was marinating her leg.
Her?
His. I'm sorry. I assume all animals are bitches.
Yeah, Dusty was biting himself. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I've been enjoying it. But what I saw, aside from Creed earlier this week, was Bridge of Spies.
Oh, you finally got around to Bridge of Spies.
Oh, man.
So
even
good.
minor Spielberg is fucking, excellent.
Is it minor? I didn't even know that was Spielberg.
Yeah, it's Steven Spielberg movie, and nobody's going to see it, I guess.
I like the story. I like the cast. I think it's weird that I didn't realize Spielberg directed it. But that shows how much I've been out of the loop, movie wise.
Yeah, it's kind of shameful. Considering
I saw Creed. What am I gonna say? I saw Creed. I will see Hateful Eight. I will actually go on my way to see that one.
Yeah, I'm going to San Francisco to see it. Probably.
Oh, jeez, why do you have to just one up me on everything?
Why Los Angeles is a much further way to go to see Creed.
I didn't go to Los Angeles to see Creed, I assure you. In fact, I didn't want to see Creed, to be honest. If I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be completely honest, Creed was not my first choice. But Lily is actually a Rocky fan.
Nice.
So
she's got good taste.
And unfortunately, the running time was the closest, so we went with that one. I wanted to see the one with Liev Schreiber in the newsroom and shit, whatever the fuck that one was.
I think it's called Spotlight.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams.
That looked like my type of movie.
Yeah, I actually want to go check it out. Here's the thing. There's so many movies that came out here in Sacramento in the last week. Thanksgiving hit, and everything came out here.
Yeah.
Crazy. Brooklyn, Room, Spotlight, Legend. That's the Tom Hardy movie where he plays two characters. And I still had Bridge of Spies. I missed Sicario. I really wanted to see Sicario, but
wow, I'm surprised you did miss that one.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that for a while, but I kept pushing it, and then finally it just stopped showing here. I do want to see that new Seth Rogen movie, The Night Before.
That was on the list, but it was too late of a time.
I still want to see. I do want to see Peanuts. Haven't seen.
It's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mockingjay Part 2 yet. Even there's just so much to come out. And today I was going to go see something, and then I had to deal with my roof issue because I have a leak, and it killed
priorities.
Yeah, I had to do the important thing.
That's debatable.
So I missed out on seeing Room, which is the Brie Larson movie that everybody's saying she's going to win an Oscar for.
Oh, that's the one where she's got the child, and the child doesn't know what the outside world. Okay, yeah, all right. Oh, well, you get to watch a movie now. That's fun.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, Bridge of Spies is really good. Check it out.
All right, I need to. There's a lot of stuff I need to check out. But today we will be watching a film. I'm going to show you the poster.
A film?
All right. Actually, you want me to show you the poster, or you want me to read the description? Because I did that for Scott.
You can read me the description.
I'll read you the description. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Because Scott missed the... when I used to do that. But now, next year, when you guys basically know what movies you're seeing, it won't be as fun. All right, here we go. I haven't even read this yet. I'm reading it now.
Sweet.
Pianist Willie Conway returns to the small town he left behind as erstwhile friends, lovers, and the scary thought of settling down swirl around him. A friend's unapproachable cousin and a winsome teenager afford glimpses of two possible futures.
Oh, Jesus. Is that movie about the guy who's got a thing for, like, some young girl?
Maybe.
This is not men behaving.
No.
But this is...
No.
Ugh, I already know I'm not going to want to watch this.
We're watching
Beautiful Girls. Yeah, I'm not.
Here we go. Hey, it's a Ted Demme.
All right.
Counts for something. It's and Natalie Portman. All right. Well, aren't you glad you got to pick the movies for next year? And on that note, we'll be right back.
They're the best of friends.
Do I got anything in my stash? Be clean. Why is he here?
In town for their high school reunion.
I've been back exactly 4 minutes.
But they have one big problem.
I want to give you this.
It's brown.
You buy a colored diamond for a girl you're not even seeing, man. You've been eating retard sandwiches again.
They're all falling in love
You can slip into something more comfortable.
with beautiful girls.
They're all sisters, Will. Trust me, they're all sisters. It's one big conspiracy.
It's the must-see comedy critics are calling hilarious.
Look at this. Your favorite.
I can go along with that.
Yeah, that's nice, right? Well, these are Silicon City. I could hang my overcoat on them.
Sexy.
Can you think of anything better than making love to an attractive stranger in the middle of a frozen lake with just a oil light to guide your way?
I woke up near Rittenhouse Square.
A great comedy.
What part of Chicago are you from?
Do you know Chicago?
Yeah, I know, like, Soldiers Field.
Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up.
What do you want? You drooling, obsessed lunatic.
Okay, that's fair.
Matt Dillon, Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton, Rosie O'Donnell, Natalie Portman, Michael Rappaport, Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino, and Academy Award nominee Uma Thurman.
You drunk?
I don't know, but you both look very beautiful.
A beautiful girl can make you dizzy. She can make you feel high. A beautiful girl is all powerful, and that is as good as love.
He's insane. He's obsessed. You're all obsessed.
Beautiful Girls, the seriously funny hit movie from director Ted Demme.
And you guys, as a gender, have got to get a grip. Otherwise, the future of the human race is in jeopardy.
We have returned. We have finished Beautiful Girls. The Ted Demme 90s indie relationship film.
96, I think, exactly.
96.
Yeah.
A lot of careers ending in the middle and starting around this time. It was Ted Demme's... It was one of his first films. Ted Demme... Let's speak on Ted Demme before we talk about the movie, because he's obviously Jonathan Demme's bro.
No, that Jonathan Demme's his uncle.
Uncle. Whatever. Bro, uncle, same thing. Related. So Jonathan Demme, obviously, probably best known for Silence of the Lambs. Did some pretty memorable concert films. The Talking Heads one, Neil Young, what have you. Yeah, so good times. Ted Demme, young director, did this. I think the other movies that jumped to... He did the television. He did...
I think the other movie that people know him well for...
Final film?
No, not his final film. Blow.
That is his final film. Unless we're talking about A Decade Under the Influence.
Yeah, I was talking about Decade Under the Influence.
Which may actually be his best film. But I haven't
Didn't learn
seen
any
it.
lessons from it, though. Died of coke.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he died because he played basketball after taking coke. And had a heart
lessons
attack.
learned. And don't do coke and play basketball, kids. Actually, that was a lesson learned by... I'm sorry, I was going to go back into the Boston Celtics. They had the wonderkind draft who was supposed to be like the next Jordan, who ended up dying the day after being picked at number 1 by a coke overdose. So, yeah. Kids, basketball, Coke, no.
Don't mix it.
Don't do it. He also did Life, a movie that I actually think is strangely underrated with Eddie Murphy.
I've heard that. It's actually Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy are pretty good on that.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that film. I also enjoyed this film. It was something you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's back up a bit. All right, first off, let me set the scene for the film. Timothy Hutton plays a young man who grew up in a small, where are we, Michigan?
Massachusetts.
I knew it was an M state. Massachusetts town where it snows a lot. He got away and became a bar pianist. He got himself a nice girl who he's been engaged to for about over a year, and comes home for his high school reunion. And all of his friends are still accounted for. We have Michael Rappaport. We have Matt Dillon. And others. So, it's the classic story, a guy coming home, seeing that not much has actually changed, interspersed with romantic dilemmas throughout the cast, in many ways, shape, or forms. Now, Rob. Alright, so this was relatively a commonplace for a lot of independent films in the 90s, where we got smaller stories, a lot of them having to do with people afraid of growing up. You know, it's kind of the, almost like the Clerks mold. You get comfortable and you do a lot of nothing. So why would that make for a good cinematic experience?
I don't think it does.
Oh, that's the argument we're having right now, isn't it?
I feel like I mentioned it felt like a sitcom, like a one-camera sitcom. The kind of things you see now on on Hulu or HBO or Showtime, like Casual or Togetherness or things of that nature.
It's like okay.
And it's hard for me to restate this because I said it so eloquently while we're watching the movie, but it's a movie about nothing. And it's like...
So essentially it's a Seinfeld episode.
Except Seinfeld's funny.
Oh, this movie's had its moments.
The movie is cliche. The script is really... Like, I groaned a lot during the course of the movie because some of the lines are like some of the most oft-used lines that you hear in movies like this. The 90s was a decade of a lot of pointless fluff. It is probably the worst decade of movies ever. And I know
it's so not even true.
The 80s had some really bad movies, but at the same time, the 80s was still a period of time where it was transitioning from that sort of like director-led style in the 70s to more of a commercialism in the 80s. You can see that those two things kind of struggling with each other with the type of movies that came out in that decade. You have RoboCop, which was supposed to be, this big studio movie, but they hired Paul Verhoeven, who pretty much took over and did what he wanted, and it turned into like what I consider an art film disguised as a sci-fi action film.
That's fine. But this is not a big film. This was a film that cost less than $10 million, earned about.
It is part of those wannabe indie movies that came out in the 90s after indie movies like Clerks, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Blue Things changed people's idea of what a movie could be.
I think it's more of akin to a Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Yes, I was going to say Soderbergh, Sex, Lies, and Videotape. It's closer to something like that. But it's fueled by a studio looking for that. We're already in '96. We're already well into the industry trying to ape indie flicks.
Well, because indie films had a resurgence that
it wasn't a resurgence, man. It was the birth of indie film in the 90s.
Well, I mean, one could argue the 70s had its moment. The 80s did not. I mean, there are obviously smaller films that came out in the 80s, but the list is... obviously the 90s was a boom, clearly, where we had movies of all shapes and sizes, and a lot of that is thanks to the Weinsteins, who were really, really good at getting those movies out.
Yeah, this was a Miramax joint.
It was.
When I first saw that, I knew I was in trouble.
Really? Unless Tarantino's or Kevin Smith's name's attached to it?
Right. Because what happened with the Weinsteins and Miramax, like, they had these two big indie hits, from Tarantino and Smith, and they decided to just chase that fucking pony and just ride it as hard as they possibly could till that fucking thing collapsed and had to be turned into glue. Because they are like, oh, these are fucking cheap to make, and people go see them in droves, and they're critically acclaimed. The only thing I remember about Beautiful Girls specifically, because you said I had some preconceived notions, I didn't. The only thing I remember from back then was that Roger Ebert liked it a lot.
He gave it 3.5 stars. I checked that.
It's a fucking creepy movie with Timothy Hutton hiding over a 13-year-old Natalie Portman.
Okay,
everybody's got terrible baggy jeans on.
That is a symbol of the time. That is not the film's fault. Okay, well, and this is the touchstone of the movie is Natalie Portman. This is kind of this and The Professional is kind of the movies that people, all right, pay attention to this person.
The thing is, like, the 90s, pre-9/11, is a decade of people feeling like we have achieved greatness. Cold War is over. We've won every battle that we've ever gone up against. Certain people were writing novels about the end of history. Like, we pretty much hit utopia. And so that decade was inundated with people who were like, what can I struggle against? Oh, I can struggle against not thinking my girlfriend's hot enough, or struggle against what am I going to do in my life? Stupid shit that people will figure out by the time they turn 30, I would think.
I disagree. Speaking personally, I don't even think that's even true. And it is a big deal to the people involved. And maybe that's why I like it. I find there is a certain relatable aspect to it. And I admittedly am a sucker, the guy who comes home to find nothing's changed. Because that is
there's a lot of great people in the movie. Mira Sorvino, Uma Thurman,
that dog Mira Sorvino,
Noah Emmerich, Michael Rappaport, Rosie O'Donnell, Martha Plimpton.
Oh yeah, the cast, young David Arquette. There's the one aspect of the movie that it does annoy the hell out of me is the whole Matt Damon, who obviously peaked in high school.
Matt Damon?
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon. Dillon, yeah.
Essentially the Ed Bundy of his town. Peaked in high school.
He's very much like his There's Something About Mary character, a total creeper.
Yeah, except
as well.
He's
with Mira Sorvino. She's not hot enough. He's got to go for Lauren Holly, who's married with a child.
Who he dated in high school. They were the item. She got married. She married a bro, and had a kid, and has a little Matt Dillon on the side. And Matt Dillon's conflicted because he's so handsome. That should he stay with dumpy Mira Sorvino or get with the married piece of ass Lauren Holly? And he eventually makes the right decision, I feel. He's with the gutter trash.
Is so PG in this movie too, like the language.
No, it's a radar film.
I know. I can't believe it. The content of it doesn't even come close to feeling adult to me. It actually feels like almost juvenile. Michael Rappaport character is annoying in how he's
a knucklehead, Rob.
He's a knucklehead, yeah. And these characters have these conversations that are supposed to be poignant, they come off as like I said, fluff. It's so like sitcom material. The
screenwriter.
It's so bad. Scott Rosenberg,
who is better known for doing bombastic action flicks like your Armageddon, your Con Airs, your General's Daughter. Guy, I forgot about that film. Those are movies I do not enjoy. Well, Con Air kind of in an ironic way, but yeah, it sounds like a douche saying it like that. But I like, maybe it comes down to this is a movie that hit me at the right time. This was me getting early into devouring a lot of films. So looking back and watching it with you, I'm realizing this is not necessarily better than Return of the Jedi. I actually did. I remember.
Here's the thing, though. Whenever you watch a movie with other people, you have to. That's why I feel like
I saw it by myself.
Yeah,
so.
I am of the belief that watching a movie by yourself is the best way to watch a movie, engage what your actual reaction is, because you are uninfluenced by anybody else. And I know people say, "Oh, I'm not influenced." That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You can't help. You don't exist in a vacuum. Other people's opinions result in not only affecting your opinion on the movie, but it also affects how you react to their opinion. Because if someone is bad-mouthing the movie that you thought was okay, you suddenly feel the need to defend it. And so all of a sudden you're rating it up higher than you would have normally if you had just seen it alone. So I think your reaction to a movie when you see it by yourself is probably the best gauge of how you actually feel about the flick.
And I enjoyed it. And I think you're the first male I've ever watched it with. I have watched it with females, and they've liked it. So I feel like it's a good movie to watch with a chick. They love being called chick, by the way.
The thing is, like, the movie, everything ends well for everybody.
Everybody gets their goodbyes. Everybody gets their happy endings.
The Timothy Hutton's character realizes that his fiancée is super hot after everybody in the fucking town tells him she's super hot.
Yes. She's a 7.5.
Michael Rappaport comes to terms that he just wants to be with this girl who is not a supermodel.
Martha Plimpton.
Right, but he loves her.
Yeah.
For his whatever reasons.
But we never understand why she likes him.
Yeah, no kidding. Matt Dillon comes to the realization that he's been a total dick, and he's sticking with Mira Sorvino. Even Lauren Holly realized she's a mean bitch after talking to some fucking random person.
Some fat guy.
Yeah, some fat guy was like, I used to have an eating problem. This fucking guy's still fat. And I wanted to say, you still got an eating problem, bro.
Here's where I thought the dialogue would go. Well, now I'm a CEO, and I make thousands and thousands of dollars. And you know what? You never talk to me. And he called her a snake. Oh. You know, but you get
mean as a snake.
But you get the sense that he came to the reunion just so he could do that. And I will say that kind of rings false, because I've been to my reunions, and nobody does that. Because the people who would do that would never fucking show up for a reunion.
Right.
That's a sink, people. That is Kat. Hi, Kat. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. She watched part of the movie.
Yeah, what did you think of the movie, babe? Apparently Jeff says that...
As a female, maybe it's because I watched part of the movie. I was not interested.
What?
But also, maybe part of Rob's hate influenced me.
Oh, Rob's proving points.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, Kat, you and me need to watch it.
Maybe.
Because when I watch it with ladies...
They like it?
Well, they tend to.
But maybe I was bored by it.
Well, you came in the middle. There was a lot of stuff you missed.
That's why I was like, well, maybe it's because it was halfway through.
Yeah, no, I know. There's a lot of poignant stuff.
Yes.
A lot of poignant stuff.
Yes.
The thing is, like, I know everybody talks about Natalie Portman, like she is the big deal of the movie. I thought she didn't do that great a job, honestly. I thought her lines were like really like fake, especially at the end. Oh man, I was just...
So you didn't find her believable as a 13-year-old?
No, not at all.
But she's an old soul, Rob.
Not at all.
Old soul.
You know what she reminded me of is her performance in
Garden State.
Garden State, yeah.
I liked Garden State too.
It was a state garden. I don't know.
No, it's Garden State. We actually did a podcast on it, Rob.
Well, I wasn't there for that one.
No, but Lily wasn't. She enjoyed it. So maybe probably should watch this with Lily.
Hey, I mean, if you just want someone to just agree with you all the time.
No, not at all. No, this is good.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you like the 90s a lot more than I do.
Clearly. And you like the 80s a lot more than I do.
That's probably true as well.
So
I think there's more. The thing is about the 90s ended on a very strong...
Oh, 99 is the greatest year of movies, Rob.
Yeah, between that and 39 and 87.
It's top 5.
I also think 2014 might have been one of the greatest years of movies.
Oh? We'll have to do a special podcast on that.
Yeah. But anyways.
You digress.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Girls. How do you like that soundtrack?
Pretty tough to listen to when it was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Rock stuff. It wasn't even the grunge stuff.
Bluesy rock.
It was like the alternative. It's the alt rock of the 90s. Is some of the worst ever. Like fucking, what was the name of that band? Car Wash or Dishwalla?
Dishwalla. Some Gin Blossoms. some
of the Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh. The
90s was so bad. It was...
Alright, we had a little bit of a mic malfunction. Or
operator
malfunction. That would have been me. I apologize, but we're back on track. I don't even know what we're talking about. I probably should have pulled that up, but okay. Professional
doing
here.
Doing good, Jeff. Doing good.
I am. This is grade A material here. So
it was.
So you have but do you generally have a certain bias against? It's not against the decade. You obviously you're not dumb. You realize good movies came out in the 90s.
Yes, but I'm of the opinion that that decade was full of a lot of bad stuff.
Okay, we were because you were also demeaning the music, where All right, so it's a preference thing. It's on some level it comes down to that. You prefer synth pop over grunge, do you? Because that was the sound of the 80s in a whole, was it not?
I guess that's true.
You rather listen to Tears for Fears than Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Weiland, rest in peace.
I mean, I like certain pieces of music from the 90s, but I feel like most of the 90s was a lot of bad stuff.
But there's bad okay, yeah, well, it's the whole there's bad stuff in every decade, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I get that. But you're saying per capita, the quality of material came out. Because the 80s didn't have no big war either, really, unless you're going to count what? I should have paid attention to history class.
What are you trying to say, Jeff?
The war in Panama, was that something that happened?
The what?
The Panamanian War? No. Iran. There was the Iran Contra.
Maybe you're trying to have Bay of Pigs.
Bay of Pigs was the 60s, sir.
I don't know what you're trying to say then.
I'm trying to say that...
Desert Storm? You're talking about 90s, right?
No, we're talking about 80s.
Oh, 80s.
What was the war in the 80s? Besides, you're speaking on
Panama.
the Cold...
Panama is a thing. Yeah.
Okay, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing.
And we had a Cold War.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So once that wall came down, movies sucked.
Well, because people didn't have anything to...
Fear?
Yeah, we didn't have anything that we could draw upon.
No.
I don't know. That's just my...
That's okay.
That's my observation about the decade.
But you, in general, prefer movies with ideas. We've discussed this. You're not so much... this is kind of our big differences here. And not that you can't appreciate a movie with the small-town mentality, but it's not what draws you. Whereas I still like Kevin Smith's early stuff. I mean, I still like Clerks. I still love Chasing Amy. They're fine films, but I have to honestly, I wonder if because Clerks may be one movie I've seen, maybe only second to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory I've seen more than any other film, and I have honestly probably have gone about 5 years without seeing it at this point, and it's almost like, would I enjoy it as much? Because I think when you see a movie enough times, you start kind of like noticing things that kind of like, we could have done that different. But that's probably because I just oversaturated myself with the movie. But that's dialogue, like this movie, where, I mean... I guess
you like the dialogue in this movie, though?
I do like the dialogue in this movie. For the most part. I'm not going to say from start to finish this is some Oscar-winning screenplay. But it has the same kind of artificiality that Clerks does in that respect. But Clerks is a funnier film by leaps and bounds. So you would more like the Clerks. I wished more people talked like them. In this movie, people talk like how they talk. You probably would do a double take. Like, did you hear that from a movie? But they actually quote movies in this movie. A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Way more than they should.
You think it's overused?
Oh. Man, it's so bad.
What's the one line? The trope line that gets you? The question.
Can I ask you a question? God, I hate that line. It is such a screenwriter's line. It's a line that people who write scripts fucking use all the time, and it feels disingenuous. I don't talk to people and have those kinds of things. I don't have that line ever delivered to me. Especially if we're already... Because a lot of times these lines happen in the middle of a conversation. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if you open like your conversation with somebody. Like you walk up to somebody, "Hi, my name is Rob. Can I ask you a question?" That's different. That's reality. But you're saying... Not once you get into like deep talk about something. Oh, yeah, you know.
And there's that nice pregnant pause. "Hey, Rob, can I ask you a question?"
Yes. It's like... Yes, you can ask me a question, but it's not real. It doesn't happen. People, when they're in the midst of a conversation, they keep going. They don't stop and pause.
All right, however many phrase it, we'll say, "So I got a question for you." That's natural?
Different. More natural? That's different, right? You're not asking for permission. You have a question for me, and then you proceed with the question. You don't wait for me to say, "Sure," or "No, I don't want to answer any questions."
What is the question? Wait, but...
It's a more natural way of saying it. That's the thing. It's not about the line itself and what its implications are. It's just how it's phrased sounds so artificial that it drives me nuts because I hear it all the goddamn time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All the goddamn time.
All the time. God. Okay. In the movies.
Especially 90s movies. Especially 90s movies.
No.
Because 90s movies is all that is talking. Like... Most of that decade is just movies full of people talking to each other, which is fine if it's. I mean, there's never. I would love to see. I want to watch all of Quentin Tarantino's movies and see if there's a scene where a character asks another character, "Can I ask you a question?"
There is actually a big scene about
because I tell you what right now. That was the impetus for every other fucking screenwriter to ever use it in the 90s.
I can pinpoint the scene.
It's probably Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs.
It is Pulp Fiction. It is at the diner. John Travolta asking Uma Thurman, "Can I ask you a question?"
Exactly. And from there, every motherfucking writer decided, every wannabe Quentin Tarantino decided he's going to have that scene in their movie.
I don't know. I think Columbo started asking people questions first. I can ask you a question.
Then Tarantino was influenced by Columbo. Wow. Everybody else was influenced by Tarantino in 92 and Pulp Fiction and that scene in the diner between Uma Thurman. Holy shit. That guy asked that question to Uma Thurman.
Mind's blown.
Oh man!
Now you that completely cemented your theory.
Oh yeah, it's fucking real.
It's a callback.
Yeah. It could have.
What are the chances, Rob? What are the chances?
Matt
and
Dillon,
they're both Miramax movies,
right? And Matt Dillon's like, I'm gonna riff right now. I'm gonna riff right now because I got Uma Thurman in front of me. I'm gonna do it.
All right. And Uma Thurman did play the trope of... There's actually a name for it where she's the woman that comes into town and basically fixes everything. Or makes people come to their senses. And then she leaves conveniently before the girlfriends start getting mad because she's hanging out. Alright. Well, you didn't like the movie. It's alright. What? Worst thing you've seen so far out of the 11 films I've forced you to watch? Is it the worst? Well, I mean, we're going to go through them with your final film.
Probably, I don't know. I feel like I can't remember what else you've made me watch.
Is it worse than Falcon and the Snowman?
Another Timothy Hutton.
I know, I've foisted the Hutton on you. Mm-hmm. You got the Hutton chops.
Was Hutton also in that Dark Half movie?
Yeah, he was.
I hear it's not that bad as I remember it.
As far as Spielberg adaptations, it's middling.
Spielberg?
Or King.
Yeah. It's George Romero, so that's the other thing that attracts me to it. I remember reading the book, but never watching the movie. I may have seen a little bit of the movie and then stopped watching.
I'm going to be controversial and I say that George Romero is a highly overrated director, except for Living Dead movies.
I think you're actually wrong. It's the other way around. He is supremely underrated. Underrated.
No, I stand by my feelings on that.
Who gives him the credit that's due? Only people who give him the credit that's due... Right, it's horror fans.
Yeah.
Are horror fans. When in reality, he should be treated as
royalty.
as the master auteur he happens to be.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've had a little bit to drink.
His name is a brand. I mean, trust me, he gets his props.
Okay.
I mean, people know who he is. That's good enough. People don't know who Ted Demme is, except for isn't that the director who snorted coke and died?
I don't even think people know.
No, people don't. You're right. People don't. I mean, I feel better for knowing who he is, and I'm sorry.
The only people that would know that are going to be people who are fairly into movies. Movie
buffs. That's fairly into movies. That would be me. Okay, I think we can wrap it up from here.
Yeah, I mean, I got to dish out. I mean, this is sort of like slightly influenced by the fact that I recently rewatched American Beauty.
A movie you don't like.
I do not like it.
Still don't like it?
And I think it exemplifies everything that I've been talking about the 90s and 90s cinema. And then this movie kind of just reminds me of that on a smaller level because I don't think people gave this movie the kind of accolades that they gave American Beauty.
Oh. American Beauty.
It's an empty, confused movie, or its thematics are confused. It's not nearly as dark as it's pertained to be. Mm-hmm. It's not nearly real or satirical as it wants to be. I almost blame it for the blasé attitude towards life that resulted in Bush being voted in 2000. Yes, that's right.
Can you at least say it was better written than Beautiful Girls?
I don't know.
It does have the parallel with like the older guy attracted to the younger woman.
I know that's what the 90s was a bunch of fucking
pedophiles.
Not even middle aged, like 30 to 40-year-olds who like all of a sudden came to this realization that their life wasn't the way they intended it to be, and the only answer to that was to get in the pants of a 13 to 17-year-old girl. It's fucking stupid. And even when I was 18 years old in 1999, as I was watching American Beauty and everybody talking about how great it was, like, this movie is not that good. Aside from Thora Birch, there's nothing about that movie of worth mentioning 20 years later.
Totally disagree. It's a great film. But I'm sure we won't be watching that scene as we get to pick movies now.
Oh, because it's higher on the list.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a fine movie.
Yes, Oscar bait of the finest.
Oh, get out!
Finest kind.
At the time, it was not an Oscar bait.
Are you joking?
Yeah, I'm not.
That was Oscar bait. That may have invented Oscar bait.
No.
That movie.
What's something like Out of Africa? That was 80s. That won Best Picture in 85. What about Gandhi? What about Reds? These are Oscar baits, sir. And they came from the decade that you love. Amadeus, which I love. But I digress. Let's wrap it up.
Yes.
I appreciate your candor and your opinion on this film, and I hope the next one...
I'm glad you were willing to humor me and listen to me rant.
No, I look forward to it. It's your slacker, what can I say? I had to deal with that. Slacker better movie than Beautiful Girls?
I think so.
Would you think Paul would believe it was a better movie?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, see? Opinions. We all have them.
Yes.
Music provided by Austin Graham. You can hear more by going to Austin's SoundCloud, Facebook, or YouTube channel. Just put in Austin Graham. That is Austin like the city, Oz like the wizard, and Graham like the cracker.
Delicious crackers.
Delicious crackers. Special shout out goes out to engineer Travis, without whom you would not be hearing this. We will leave you with a song. Now, obviously the go-to would be Sweet Caroline, but Rob, since...
Find a Ween song, put it on there, since we saw Ween in the list of songs.
Okay. Which Ween?
I don't know.
You want the Ween song from Beautiful?
Sure.
Beautiful Girls. All right. All right. Second Ween song for the year. We'll find that title. You'll be hearing the music around this point. So until next time, I bid you adieu.
Some days or something I don't know. Look to the sun.